Aaron Kesher, I believe, has got the centre for the main whistle tonight, and we're off, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the big match.
He does indeed, and we are off. Here we go, St. Paul's with first use of the ball. And it's a big hit up road by the vocal crowd here at Mount Smart Stadium number 2. Thank you for joining us today. If you've just tuned in, I'm Corey Rosser, joined in commentary by Troy Hardy for the big one, the SAS College Rugby League Grand Final between St. Paul's College and Wesley College. The ultimate battle of the master and the apprentice. St. Paul's multi-time national champions, reigning champions of this SAS College Rugby League competition, and Wesley, their first year in the competition, have done a fantastic job to get through to the final. So good luck to both teams as this first set rolls through, and it's a good carry forward by the 12, Jaira Momosia, and it earns a penalty as well. Aaron Kasha says inside the 10, I believe. So St. Paul's back-to-back sets to start the game. Dylan Tavita will kick for touch. Of course, Dylan, a player who's played with the Auckland development squad over the years, the cousin of Chanel Tavita Harris, who plays for the Vodafone Warriors under-20 side right now. A talented family and a family well known to the Richmond faithful, Central Auckland club. And young Dylan doing some good things this year, and certainly one of the standouts of this SAS College Rugby League competition to date.
Yep,
big thank you to our sponsors, also SAS, of course, bringing you this one along with Hayden and Rollett. Thank you for your support of this concept. And there's a big carry there from the number 8, Sione Nahi. Gets him close to the line there. Troy, a little dummy half sneak. Looks like he may still be just short. So certainly trying out the attention to detail early on. Tavita now throws a cutout across the line, and Wesley have pushed up. There's gaps out on the left if they can get there, but in the end, good line speed. Catches St. Paul's out. Back towards the left-hand edge of the field now, and it's a cutout ball. He is through. Looks like the ball has spilled out. Wesley scoop it up, so we'll have a stop-in play there. Pack down a scrum. Troy, an energetic first set from St. Paul's. Your thoughts on the initial exchanges?
A little bit eclectic. I think everyone's got to settle down a wee bit. You know, there's been a lot of vibe around the stadium, especially with the first game. People singing. Everyone's pumped up. St. Paul's, I think, a class act. They've been here before. You know, not once, not twice, thrice, 3 times. For Wesley, I think they're not going to remember this big night. I mean, it's the first time in the season. First time in the competition this season, and they've done some pretty good things to get here. They had a couple of patchy games, but I think on the big stage they'll come fine, and if they can work their big guys, it'll be an interesting contest. But I think they're going to have to certainly take it to St. Paul's, and St. Paul's have got class across the park. So I think over the next few minutes, the first 10 into this half anyway, we'll see as they start to settle in and have a bit of patience. And here comes Wesley again.
And if we look at their respective roads to the final, St. Paul's got through by winning the second chance qualifier against Kelston, a game we live streamed. They were comprehensive in that one. They completed their sets really well, used the ball wisely, and got direct entry. And for Wesley, well, they had a dramatic entry into this game. As we see, a good break up the middle of the park.
Now that player there, is that one of our favourites, Corey?
Sione Fafita with a good carry, and he gets the penalty at the end of it. So what a carry from the big fella there. Excellent work.
Not who I thought it was, but again, a good bloody run.
Excellent run into attacking territory, and just going back to how Wesley made their way to this game.
Number 6, this guy.
Overcame a 22-4 deficit to Kelston at halftime to come back and win that one.
And their big standoff played a big part in that match.
Absolutely.
You know, I like the look of him.
Adam Pompey, for those at home who don't know him, he's signed to the Roosters under-20 side, looks a real talent, and a couple of times this year has been called away to play for the under-20s, and as you mentioned, Troy, he's a threat when he takes it to the line, but he's also a smart footballer, isn't he? Yeah,
no, he's really, really good. I think if he gets good support from his outside, inside players, I think he'll definitely be a threat for St. Paul's all day long.
So as the chants go up here at Mount Smart Stadium number 2, and there's a cool breeze coming across the park, Wesley now head out towards the right. The ball's bobbled out. Not sure if that's gone forward. And Aaron Kasha, in fact, says it has gone forward. So a knock on there. So a couple of errors from both sides to start this one. But the energy's there. It's set for a great 50-minute game.
Just picking up on that one. Big love to you, Neville Kesha, father of Aaron, and great, rich refereeing history there. Those guys, you know, certainly superb. And I know for all the old heads out there, Neville Kesha, the only man I know that ever sent Wally Lewis from the field. Well done. Good work.
Yeah, that's right. A bit of a throwback from me there. Of course, Aaron being the son of Neville Kesher, a famous refereeing family, as you say, Troy, and regular visitors to Carlaw Park back in the day will remember Neville fondly. And of course, you can check out some great photos from those days on the Carlaw Park Diehards Facebook page. Search them up on the internet. Great collection of nostalgia photos there. But in the meantime, we are very much in the present.
Great D, strong D. He's taking him to the line. He's flopped it back in.
That's a knock on there. So as you mentioned, Troy, he was headed out there. No choice but to offload it in. Wesley, great shuffle defence.
All strong. I think there's been a little bit of a arm wrestle going up and down the field here. St Paul's, down inside that 20 there, we're certainly mounting a little bit of pressure. Wesley didn't falter. They're still in it, and they're looking tidy, and we're back to just inside St Paul's half as we get ready for a scrum. And Wesley to feed. Let's see what they do at the ball for the next 6.
So Pompey, feeder out the back of the scrum to his halves partner, Ronan Lawrence.
Shame.
And not a bad sort of look to that, but Sam Havili enters the line and just spills the ball forward there, but there was some good shape on offer there. Don't mind that from Wesley, but St Paul's now with some easy possession. They start this set just short of halfway now, marching up towards the halfway line. And if you're picking it up on the cameras here, vocal crowd that's come in, almost a full house here at Mount Smart Stadium number 2. So a big thank you to all who have come out, and we've got a penalty inside the 10, I believe. So Dylan Tavita's going to kick for touch here. I tell you what, almost worth the price of admission just to watch the two halves on display today. Adam Pompey versus Dylan Tavita, the two number 6s, two of the brightest talents I can see in this SAS College Rugby League competition. Boy, they can play some footy.
Absolutely. Their heads are always up. They're always looking. They've got great visual. They read the game well. They get into space, and more importantly, they can get their outside men into space as well. They're a threat.
So St Paul's now with their best attacking chance of this first half of the game so far. They head towards the sticks here, and one thing you won't see St Paul's doing is coming up with silly options early in tackle counts. They're a patient side. They're well coached by Junior Fuel, who's been involved with the Vodafone Warriors. And it's a great short ball. Not going to stop him from there. Sione Nahi in under the sticks to open the scoring here for the defending champions, St Paul's College. Troy, it was that simple. The big fella, close range, not going to stop him.
Mate, timing, great ball. It wasn't a bullet pass. He basically laid it up in front of him. The big front row just ran onto the ball, collected it into the basket, went, thank you very much. One of the easiest tries he'll pick up this season as he goes between the sticks. Beautiful to watch, great execution. And now Wesley, they'll be having the chat. The trainer will be out there. I mean, they've been in it. That St Paul's team's a class act. You can see, they've got fast balls, wide balls, and then there's just a beautiful touch where they've just laid it up, a nice little soft touch. Big front row slamming into it, untouched underneath the sticks. So now Wesley's got to come back. They've got to come back with something, and it'll be interesting to see how we go.
So Dylan Tavita, the standoff to kick this from the front. For many years, a Richmond player. Through their under-15 systems, I believe, won a grand final with Richmond at that age group level. Now over with Howick. And the ball blows off the tee, so a bit of a delay.
Well, still a bit of breeze coming through, Corey?
Yeah, plenty of breeze going around here. It's going to different parts of the park, so at times you're going to see teams kind of getting an advantage. It's not a clear-cut case of first half, second half. It's going to change throughout the game, so yet another sort of point of intrigue, I guess. But Dylan Tavita, breeze or no breeze, no mistake from in front. So your defending champions, St Paul's College, out to an early 6-0 lead with 16 minutes remaining in this first half of the SAS College Rugby League Grand Final, brought to you in association with Hayden and Rollett. And a big thank you to those sponsors, along with the Auckland Rugby League Board, for bringing you this free live stream around the world of arguably the two best teams in Auckland, at least, and in a couple of weeks we'll see if they're the two best teams in the country, Troy, when the Nationals go on as well. You would expect both these two teams will be in the mix. Yep,
absolutely, and I think too there'll be a couple that may have missed out, whether they had not the right group to pick from. Another big run into the line, and we may see Otahu come back. We might see, appearances from Mount Albert, Kelston, part of the national comp, but as of right now, these are the form teams, and so at the moment it's all one-way traffic. It looks like St Paul's are going one way, and that's downtown. right down into Wesley's area.
So a clever little dummy half play there from Anthony Murray. He's with the Warriors development squad. Don't be surprised to see him come through in the under-20 system in a few years. And if you look in the current Warriors under-20 system, you will see plenty of St. Paul's faces. So Tavita now turns Nahi back inside,
Nice
and that is
drop
just
on the inside.
smart play there, really. Again, send the big fella at them, soften them up. And Tavita now to kick, and it's going to be a big hoisting one, and it's got snow on it by the time it comes down. This will be a big tester for Tuhi Pompey at the back.
Great hit.
Safe as houses. Great catch from the young fella Troy. Looking into the floodlights, cold conditions, not an easy one.
No, agree with you. And he looked like he took it in a stride, and then as soon as he collected the ball, bang, he was hit by a St. Paul's defender.
So Wesley, let's see what they can do now. We know they've got a bit of size. They've certainly got speed on the edges. They've got some really classy centres. The halves we mentioned, you know, we've wrapped Adam Pompey, but his halves partner Ronan Lawrence in the headgear.
And here they come.
Equally talented player. And
Great
Pompey
step. Oh.
gets the ball now, dummies, and you're going to see that plenty just trying on that line. Takes a hit this time, but eventually a gap will open up there, so watch out for it. Adam Pompey now, as we see a good carry forward. This one from Lenny Nemea, the Papakura Sea Eagles player, up over halfway now. Into dummy half comes the number 9, Lorenz Tupea. Pompey with the bomb.
Good talk out there on that edge.
It's another high
He's let
one.
it bounce.
Stafford Tor at the back. It's bounced now. The ball is spilt out. Wesley have got it. Not too sure what we've got here. We're going to need to wait for confirmation from our referee. Knock on. So St. Paul's dodge a bullet there. Stafford Toa allowing the ball to bounce. Always a dangerous ploy, but in the end, our referee spots a little knock on there, I believe, from Wesley, and St. Paul's should have the loose head and feet 10 metres out from their line.
Good comradeship there as he got up. The opposition player gave him a high five, or maybe a low five. He just sort of tapped and, you know, showing a wee bit of respect there as they head back to the scrum for the reset. And Aaron's having a quiet word to them as they get set. Front row is binding, second row is about to go in. Lockdown, scrum's being fed, we're break. Great edge, here we go.
Towards the left here, and we have an opening try for Wesley, awaiting confirmation on this one. It's the number 5 who's gone over. It's Saya Latu, and it is a try. What a great try, a nice left side shift there.
Straight
Just
from that set play.
Overlap.
Straight from that set play. Calm, collective, went along the back line, created a little bit of space on that edge. He went down that side, into the corner. Going to be a hard kick, especially for a right footer. He's going to be slamming it straight into oncoming breeze. And it'll be interesting. Great to see the old songs breaking out over there. There's a favourite one of mine. I heard Ole, 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 I believe, when I met my wife in Munich. One of the fond memories.
Ah, fantastic. A bit of romance for your SAS College Rugby League viewing tonight. And we hear, yeah, plenty of noise from the travelling Wesley fans, and how fantastic that they've made it out here tonight. We know it's, you know, school tomorrow. It's no easy feat to get out here on a cold night, but thank you to the fans that have turned up. We've got almost a full stadium here at Mount Smart, number 2, and you get the feeling they're going to be in for a thriller. So the try out wide, a diving Saya Latu. They caught them short, and now Adam Pompey up against the sideline to attempt this conversion. Adam's got his brother Tuhi Pompey playing on this Wesley side as well. There's a couple of brothers in the St. Paul's outfit as well, so great to see. It's a family affair in this one. And Pompey, that initial strike there, he's got a very front-on strike, and that one always missing to the left.
Very, very classical kick of that young fella. Great to see, straight in, straight up, and slices that off to the left. And let's hope that doesn't come back to haunt him. I think every point tonight's going to be critical, especially in any grand final. St. Paul's now regather themselves. They come back for the reset. Couple of conversations taking place. I think there's going to be some high energy now. Let's see what happens. Nice deep kick. Looking for a big man coming off the line. Here he comes. And it's not like they didn't know he was coming.
Simone Stefano with the carry. He was super impressive. Arguably the best player on the pitch last week, in my view. Another of the Papakura Sea Eagles. Connection in this Wesley side.
Great
Good
offload.
Offload out the back there, and a bit of second phase play. Spills out to Vida. Hits the ball at speed, but Pompey crunches him. So end-to-end stuff here in this
is where you see the class of
League
St.
final.
Paul's now. Sorry, Chief.
Plenty of excitement here in the commentary box. We do love our SAS College Rugby League action, and what a game this is going to be.
Great mind. Great meters.
Another good carry. That's from Sione Nahi.
Going to see a little sneaky.
He's
No,
featured
he's
heavily. Tavita now out towards the right edge, and they work them over, but Wesley get their numbers, inches short. Into dummy half now goes Anthony Murray. Head back towards the stick. Number 13.
Let's hope there's 2 sticks.
Daytona Tuivasa. Murray again into dummy half, swings it out. Tavita got that lovely
Great
spiral
pass.
pass on him. They may have a little bit of space here. There's
They'll
gap out the
split him.
left, and he's in. That is a try, and I believe that's going to be to the number 2, Jukin Williams, the year 13 student. A Richmond Bulldogs under-18s player just finishes it off beautifully in the corner there.
Way over in the distance for us here on the live stream.
And again, just a well-worked set piece towards the edge of the field. A couple of block runners, and they catch them short on the edge. So excellent football played from both sides here. St. Paul's right now with the slight advantage on the scoreboard, and you feel in the arm wrestle. But it all revolves around Dylan Tavita, Troy. We saw him get involved again. He's got that lovely spiral pass. He gets heavily involved both sides of the field. Ably assisted in the halves by Jalen Murray, brother of Anthony Murray, the hooker.
And I just sort of feel too, you know, with the St. Paul's try, a lot of structure, a lot of, you know, sort of coming together. They, you know, they know what they're doing. They know where they're going. They've had great kicks. They've had great runs. They've been able to drop the inside ball. They've looked like a class act. No disrespect to Wesley. They came down, they did the set play, came straight off the plant and in on the corner, but it wasn't any mounted pressure. There wasn't that sort of structure of that base building as they got into that match, into their try.
Yeah, that's right. And look, we saw Wesley really have a really bad first half last week, and then they recovered and were a completely different team in the second half. So we know they've got structure, we know they've got athletic ability. It's just a matter of putting it together. But doing it against St. Paul's, there's no harder team to do it against. They're relentless. They defend really well. They have great structures, and they take care of the ball, which is the most important thing at this level. So look, Wesley won't be in panic stations at all. Their coach, Lawrence, no, that's not a mistake in the commentary. Lawrence is an experienced coach. He's not going to panic at this. He knows they came back last week from a 22-4 deficit in the sideline conversion. It's a fair effort, Troy, but just below and to the right of the sticks.
Just over 7 minutes to go as Wesley now come back and get ready to kick off. And let's hope they get a wee bit more ball and start mounting a bit of pressure themselves. You know, I don't think in a grand final you want to be waiting till the second half to unlock your true value. I mean, it's all got to start coming out now and use all the minutes that you have. Great offload.
Nahi involved again, and it's a carry off the back fence as the ball boy leaves the field. So the big boys getting involved early here. And Troy, we saw in the second half of St. Paul's game against Kelson, the outside backs were the ones who featured most heavily in those starts of sets. Mike Williams in particular, a really nuggety winger, got their sets rolling, but early on it's all about the forwards trying to soften up that Wesley line perhaps. They swing it back now, and Tavita will kick. It's from inside the 40. It's creeping down dangerously close. It's going to stay in, so Tui Pompey goes back to collect, but that's a good kick from Dylan Tavita. Smart play from St. Paul's. They sensed perhaps
Nice
the 40-20 was on there. Swung it back to Tavita, who very carefully stayed inside the 40. It's a good play there. Let's see what Wesley can come up with.
So it's their second settle out, and just seeing if we can pick up some of their communication down there. It's all one off at the moment. That's their third. They're halfway through the set. Looking for another big unit. Here he comes.
This is a big carry here from Simone Stefano. Avid watchers of the SAS Fox Memorial competition will know his brother Vicesio Stefano, a key player for the Papakura Sea Eagles in that competition. Of course, I'll add the ladder leading Papakura Sea Eagles, who face their final regular season game this weekend against the 4th place Glenora Bears. So good luck to both teams in that one. Join in on Māori television for that one as we head into the finals of the Auckland First Division. So Pompey gets his kick away, and it's a good return from Stafford Toa. Of course, Toa was the, I believe, under-15s player of the year for the Auckland competition last year. He looks a great talent, Auckland development player as well. And out of dummy half now, and there's that man we mentioned, Troy, Mike Williams.
Great speed.
The year 13 Richmond under-18s player. really strong player, fights for extra yardage, and now up the middle of the guts. Wesley scramble well to control it. It's going to be interesting here. Will they revisit that left edge? They've had a bit of success down there. Indeed they do. Heading out towards the left now, and Murray dummies, goes himself. But Wesley up to task. Just short. His brother into dummy half now, swings it back out. Watch for Dylan Tavita here. He's following the kick in. Nahi's got it. Pompey, great play from him. Takes the ball, gets to ground early. Professional fullback play, Troy.
Yep. Very, very solid in the back there, and I think no pressure so far as far as the fullback play was that you've alluded to. Oh, great hit, great hit.
Wow.
He's still standing. This boy I like. He's got good upper strength. He drives hard on the legs, and he's still not down. Finally tackled.
Standoff on standoff, and it's one of the biggest hits you are going to see, and it was a ball and all hit, and in fact it was the ball carrier who initiated the hit. Tui Pompey, well, he's not a stocky guy by any means, but he's a big tall thing.
Yep.
And gets the hit on, and in the end I think we may have a penalty from St. Paul's here. And a bit of chat going on.
Yeah, he wanted to have the conversation with him, didn't he? So there's a wee bit of discussions going on in the background there. Yeah. The trainer's also having a wee bit of a chat as well. Corey's pulling out the big eye lens just to see if we can do a bit of lip reading down there. And the trainers are sort of coming back off now.
I think they're discussing Pokemon Go down there, actually, Troy.
I thought we collected all the Pokemon Go's.
Oh, that's right, that's right. Yes.
Pikachus. We nailed all the Pikachus earlier.
You can't have a live broadcast without mentioning Pokemon Go right now.
Not in any sport.
Back towards the right-hand side of the field now, and Tavita passes on to Stafford Toa, and it's a good carry from Toa. You just see Tavita in there along with Murray, just directing traffic, setting up their block plays. They head out towards the left, and this is Mike Williams with a carry, but he's met in a good crunching one-on-one tackle. Murray now into dummy half, dummies to the right, goes left instead. It's Sione Nahi. Tavita now disappearing out to that left edge, and I like to see the halves operating on both sides of the field. Back towards the middle now. Stafford Toa beats the first one.
Came off and needs to hold on.
Appeals that he's got there. We are going to have a try here. Stafford Toa beat the initial one, Troy, got him to contact, and then just had the strength to roll over. That is good play.
Turn. Yep, got the big arm out and gets across the line. Aaron says, I like that. So he awards the try there. And now some of the conversations need to start taking place down there in the Wesley camp. And love to be on a fly on the wall down there. St. Paul's will be coming back, and I think for them it's going to be more and more about the same in what they're doing, executing their set of six. They had pretty good mounted pressure leading up to that try going in. And look at the body language. They all look pretty confident. You know, they're all standing up. They're feeling pretty comfortable. They've been here before. And, you know, I don't think there's any stage fright down there whatsoever. Kicker getting ready to address the goal, address the ball, I should say.
And Dylan Tavita adds the extras for a 14-4 lead with 2 minutes to go in this first half of the SAS College Rugby League Grand Final at Mount Smart Stadium number 2. And in fact, just a correction there, 16-4. Missed the 2 points being added on, so a good lead for St. Paul's early on in this one. There won't be any panic from Wesley, though. They, you know, we've mentioned a couple of times, they came back from 22-4 down last week. There'll be no kind of dramas there, and they know that they've got the skill to get back into it, but it's been a positive start from both sides. But so far, just St. Paul's probably making better use of the ball. Pompey will get us back underway. It's another high one.
Kick. Down
towards the left. Murray will field it. It's well caught. And the big fella's into it. Straight into it.
Bending the line. They've got to harden up that their centres, I feel, for the Wesley piece. Get a couple of more big shoulders on. A couple of big hits in.
Zephaniah Orenga there with a good carry. And now Wesley are backtracking a little bit after a couple of big hit-ups. They jam in. Contain them well out there on the left edge. So that's good defence from Wesley.
Still inside the half.
Need to find their way back into this one with some defensive pressure. Murray now directs play back towards the middle. Flat-footed. He finds Zephaniah Orenga.
Going on out there.
Up to halfway now as we enter the final 1 minute of this half. Tavita shuffles it out just to his right. Sione Nahi with a good carry forward. Need a good kick at the end of this one. Tavita gets his hands on the ball, and it is a good kick down towards the left-hand corner, and the chase is fantastic from St. Paul's. Just professional, composed, excellent work from the Central Auckland side.
Here comes Wesley, deep out of South Auckland. Crowd's loving it. Hit by hit, play by play. They're right in behind their teams. Good drop back on the inside. meets a couple of cover defenders. Quick play the ball. Here they come again onto the left edge. He throws the inside dummy.
And again,
Well
Pompey
tackled.
featuring heavily in it. He's not afraid to get tackled, this boy. You see with a lot of younger halves.
Sloppy play the ball.
And indeed it is. Knock on a dummy half. So there's a bad error from Wesley just as they were starting to build something, about to enter the attacking half, and they come up with the error. So this will be frustrating for them, and the siren is about to go. So we are going to head to the sheds. 16 points to 4. Your defending champions, St. Paul's College, lead this one. We're set for a thrilling second half. Go and get yourself a hot chocolate, a cup of tea, something warm.
Yeah, and bring it to us immediately.
Warm up and join us for the second half here from Mount Smart Stadium number 2.